education system. Okay, I'm gonna start off by saying that. Fuck the education system. The education system in America fucking sucks. Okay, and the reason why it fucking sucks, it sucked ever since civil rights, is because of the simple fact is, guess who is the enemy in the school? Okay, guess who is the group of people that they want to outcast? Okay, the education system sucks not only in California, but across the nation. Okay, across the whole United States of America. Right? That's what the United States of America. Okay, let's address the fucking nation. Now, at the end of the day, right? We all know, right? Based off of real fucking historical facts, that the whole fucking Christopher Columbus and all that bullshit, that illusion shit that they like to sit up here and tell us so they can go sell a fucking movie or they can go sell some motherfucking fake ass books. Okay? Let's talk about it. Let's motherfucking talk about it. Now, at the end of the day, right? At the end of the day, President Trump appointed Linda McMahon to be of the head of the Department of Education, right? Now, if you not have not seen the YouTube where Representative Johanna Hayes and her going back and forth, right? And I hate if you ever been in like a town hall meeting or one of those meetings before, you know you do have a certain time that you have to sit up here and speak your piece, right? And one of the things that I hated as that shit goes on is that you hear the guy keep, you know, not letting Representative Miss Hayes really plead her point and go in, right? And I hope I'm not saying her name wrong, right? But the sister really handled herself with elegance, okay? When we look at the education system in fucking America, they like to single out, right? Let's let's talk about especially let's give a little history. Let's on the special ed, right? Back when integration started, right? The Civil Rights Act is right when special ed first got started, right? Now check this out. They gave everybody called the intelligent test. Okay. Now, in this intelligent test, right, if you didn't get a certain score, they put you in fucking special ed. Right? That's what they did. Okay. Now, what was that doing was it was separating, as far as being integrated, it was separating students from participating in a whole fucking full class. Okay? Now, to keep it 100 with you, the education system has always separated, right? Let's keep it 100 with you. It has always separated and divided the races that was in the schools. okay? But it divided it. That's what the special ed education did. It divided. Just because now that we're integrated, now you come up with a whole nother program called special ed, which had never been heard before, right? And now here you have it. Now kids, right, of what they say the minority, now take a test. If they fail this test, they get put into special ed. Okay, just another way to make money and to say these kids need a little bit more help with their learning. Now, to keep it all the way 100 with you, look at where special ed is now. Has it gotten better, or has it taken a step back? Now, to when I looked at Linda McMahon's little profile, right, it said that she was on the Department of Education for Connecticut for about, if I'm not mistaken, about 8 years or 7 years or some shit like that, right? Now, let me say this. I understand about doing, I get budget cuts, right? That's what you want to do. You want to cut budgets. I get. The whole thing about the education system is to make the education better. And the education sucks in America right now. Because they're not teaching, you having more kids that are making millions off of fucking YouTube and streaming than even going down the same path that we went down, going to 4 years. And I'm not saying all, but you have a lot of people, a lot of this new generation, they not waiting. They want it now and they getting it now. Shout out to all the young streamers that are sitting up here streaming and making money off of it. Shout out to y'all. But there is a whole purpose to get rid of what the original people of this land has did. Okay? So they use education as a fucking weapon. So they can get our kids and even us to believe in a motherfucking lie. In a motherfucking lie. Some shit that's not even gonna help you in your motherfucking 20s. It's not gonna fucking help you. Learning about history ain't gonna help you. So then that's when you have to understand, right? As a parent, as a motherfucking parent, you have to understand what is the real purpose of the education system. It isn't to indoctrinate our kids into believing some motherfucking bullshit. Okay? That's just really what it is. That's all the school system is. They want to keep this fucking, guess what? Black people come from Africa. White people came and civilized the entire planet. That's really what the fucking education system is. Say what you want, right? Say what you fucking want, right? Even when you study the education system, you see that Black history wasn't always studied. That's fucking new. That's since what, 1970? Black history wasn't always motherfucking studied. Once again, we find ourselves at this crossroad. We find ourselves at a crossroads. Because in one sense, right, you have a lot of people waking up, right? In another sense, you have this lingering motherfucking smell that we all know it stinks. And what would that be? That is what the form of control that we're under. We smell it. We feel that it's not right. Our insides let us know every time we go to work. What the fuck are we working for? Did the education system help or did it hinder? How do you, me personally, right? I don't know, I'm not the president, but out of all the people to elect to be, the person in charge of education, why somebody that was into entertainment? And that's the same thing when I hear about, guess what? We should put more emphasis on the Holocaust than we should on the studies of what happened over here on this land. Now check this out. Check this out. Right? Check it out. We're never fucking told, okay, throughout history that we've learned in the education system, it's never about the people of this land. It's always about the motherfucking people overseas. And what they did. And to, once again, like I said, to civilize America. The education system is set up from a bunch of white men back in the 1700s. School is just a prison. It is what it is. School is a mini prison. Let me explain. Everything they do in prison and in jail is the same thing they do in school. The only difference is you get, what, an hour in the yard? Lunchtime, you only get 30 minutes. You got to stay in line. You go to the cafeteria. It's set up the same way. You have campus supervisors. You got guards. It's set up the same way. You have to go to class. They lock you up. It's nothing but fences around. School is motherfucking jail for kids. We have to understand that when we look at the history of school, right? The concept from the Bridewells, which was more so them trying to, once again, indoctrinate the people of the land to what was going on. The concept of schools came from Europe, from Europe. They were trying to fix society. And they wanted people to go to school, and from school, you go to work. You don't have time to question authority. You have to be tired. You have to go get your check, go put your check in the bank, okay? Then go to the grocery store, then pay the bills. Come on. The fuck do you need history for? What is fucking history? Technically, why the fuck do you need to teach history? Why? There's no reason why the education should be teaching history. They don't even teach cursive writing no more. They don't even teach that shit no more. Why? You know why they're not teaching cursive writing? Think about it. Motherfuckers spend more time texting than they do writing anything. Niggas is in their phone. Text message. Computers. What do you need to learn how to do this for? Not now. Not in this generation. In our generation, we had to learn it because the technology and where things was, it's not where it's at as it is now. So we have to go through the whole form of learning how to have a signature. The education system fucking sucks. They don't teach independence. They don't teach how to make money in high school. They took the trades away from schools. There's no trades. There if we think about school should have guess what? You go to school, you should be even in high school, you could be a barber. Remember they had home ec, auto repair. That was all in fucking high school. They took that shit out. You gotta go pay for that at college. Go to college and do that. Go to college to get a trade. See what the education system is? More fucking money. I was happened to be looking on Indeed, right, for some jobs, just to see what was out there and shit. And it's funny because they had a job. If you had your bachelor's, you making $35 an hour with your master's. That ain't shit. $35 an hour ain't shit. $35 an hour ain't shit. It ain't shit. I'm just saying. The education system sucks in America. So how do you make it better? Okay, we spend a lot of time on talking about bullshit, right? And problems, but we don't spend enough time trying to solve them. One one thing I feel like we should do, right? And it's just my personal opinion when it comes to the education system, right? Is even in elementary, especially in California, bro, you got to learn how to speak Spanish. Speak Spanish, start teaching kids how to speak Spanish, not waiting. Because we all know when a kid is younger, you can a kid is easier to pick up a language between what was that, like 4 and 8 or some shit like that, 3 and 8. So that should be the thing. In preschool and kindergarten, English and Spanish. Get the kids to understanding words. Okay? Words. Because that's what's used. Understanding words, understanding different languages. If you want America to be great again, as everybody wants, then education, as far as teaching kids, not the same bullshit. If you're not going to teach correct history, get rid of history. Get rid of history. If you're not going to teach correct history, and the only way you teach correct motherfucking history is to sit up here and to research not only the people, because I can go and research one person from the 50s and 40s and 30s. It is to sit up here and to research the whole goddamn concept of of the system of education. The shit is so not hard. I can understand math and science, astrology. We keep wanting to do and we keep repeating the same system that was set in place when our great grandmas was alive. And what was the first school? Some might say, hey, you remember the first thing that came to mind at the Little Perry. Remember when everybody the same age was just in one class? Everybody's being taught the same thing. It's not based on motherfucking levels. Hey, look, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, right? Like I said, the education systems, and technically, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. The education, the first child, the education should be taught at motherfucking home. It has to be the ludicrous word of motherfucking mouth. Certain things you don't want to. Hey, guess what? You write certain shit down, invaders take it. Education system sucks because they're not teaching kids to free themselves. They're teaching the kids to enslave themselves. They're teaching generations just to enslave themselves, not to necessarily get out. The only way you get out is through some form of entertainment. You have to entertain the masses. But anyway, I'm out. Peace.